Welcome back. The countdown is on. In just under 48 hours, voting will be in our area in one of the biggest elections of our time. This morning, Senator Barack Obama is leading in national polls. Senator John McCain is hoping for an upset, though. This week, we continue our look at the presidential candidates and the messages specifically that they're trying to get out to voters with just a little bit of time remaining. Joining us once again, New York Post writer Robert George, loosely stated Republican, Democratic strategist Peter Feld. For predictions, gentlemen, right off the bat.
Obama's going to win. Bob Barr in an upset. No, I think it's going to be.
You wish.
I do actually. It's most likely going to be Barack Obama. I mean,
anybody think it's going to be a landslide?
In the Electoral College, not in the popular vote, I would say 3-4 points, but in the Electoral College, it could be very wide.
I think it'll be probably something close to the margin that Bill Clinton got in 1992. So it'll probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of 325, 330 electoral votes, which will be a lot more comfortable margin than Bush got the last couple of years, the last two elections.
What messages do they want to get out right in the last few hours?
Well, I think for Barack Obama, it's the economy. It's a very consistent message, the same one that he's been using all year, which is that we need change. We need to address the economy. We can't have more of the same. The last 8 years have been a disaster. We've had the worst president probably in history, and probably, hopefully, that we'll ever have. And there's going to be a lot of cleaning up to do. That's, I think, his message, and he's ready for that.
And McCain?
I think that I think some of the Republicans I've talked to, probably the most frustrating thing they've found is that McCain finally got a message within, say, basically in the last week on the tax issue, and he's pushed. I mean, we can joke about Joe the plumber and stuff like that, but he's pushed the tax issue and spoken to people's underlying fears that Obama might raise taxes in the middle of a recession, and that message is actually starting to come through, but it's looking like too little, too late right now.
I just don't think that that's going to work. I think that what's happened is that there are issues that are always important in any election, but at the same time, people look at the character of the candidates. And we had a 2-week period in late September, early October during the financial crisis. Well, we're still in a financial crisis, of course, but when it started, and the debates where McCain showed that he was not really the safe alternative, which was what he was trying to do, was be the seasoned expert who you would turn to when things are in trouble. And what's happened is that he acted so erratic that he made Obama look like the safe alternative, which is surprising to a lot of people.
I partly agree with Peter there. I mean, part of McCain's overwhelming message, aside from the national security issue, which is still very, very important and it's being overlooked a little bit, he would be the leader in the middle of a crisis. But suddenly here we were in the middle of a domestic crisis, and it didn't seem like he knew exactly how to speak to it, and that's really hurt him coming down the stretch.
He changed every day.
We're still in the crisis, still dealing with the downturn of the economy. Wall Street does not like uncertainty. We will know who our president is by the end of this week. Who will Wall Street rally for more, if it rallies?
Well, it's always kind of tough to test because, generally speaking, obviously, Wall Street would like low regulation, low taxes. Of course, with Obama, they might not necessarily get that. But I think I would make the case that the Wall Street has already factored in, if you will, that it's going to be Obama, and then they'll just deal with it accordingly.
So you don't even think we'll see a big bump?
Well, I think that there will be a bump in this. Just in the sense that it'll be over, in the sense that they don't have to deal with the daily headlines coming from the election, and then there'll be a lot more stability going forward.
There are a lot of people nervous about this election because even though Obama has a healthy lead, we don't really know about the polls until we actually see the results on Tuesday. Wall Street's done very well under Democratic presidents. It did well under Clinton, certainly. It did well in the 60s under Johnson. So I think even though a lot of people on Wall Street are Republicans and might like philosophically a Republican, they're going to be pretty happy with Obama. He's going to be very focused on cleaning up the mess that he's going to inherit. And I think that Wall Street's going to do very well under Obama, and they're going to do very well on Wednesday after the election.
Basically any kind of stability right now is going to be what they're looking for. And if it appears now that the bailout is starting to be phased in, and there's a little bit more stability coming to the housing market and things like that, we'll start seeing Wall Street turn around. And in fact, last week it had one of its best years in about it had one of its best weeks in about 20 years.
Wall Street's problem is confidence, and I think that people will feel confident. I think on Tuesday night, Obama's going to give a very confident victory speech, and I think that will reassure Americans that we're not sailing into a crisis. We're going to sail into recovery, even though times are tough right now.
Who do you think is going to get the undecided voters? Who's going to get more of those? They are out there, even though it's been 20 months.
I think
McCain?
McCain will probably get about, I would say, 60% of the undecided voters, but it may help in some small states here and there, but not overall.
A lot of them are already with McCain. I think they just are embarrassed to tell the pollsters that they're with McCain.
Interesting. One-word answer. Is there any chance McCain could win?
Well, yes, because there's always a chance.
Technically.
All right.
That is one word.
Stay with ABC News. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Don't forget
I
to
knew
vote.
it wouldn't have to.
Don't forget to vote.
Everybody go out and vote on Tuesday.
It's not over until you vote.
Yeah, exactly.
Good message.
Exactly.
Stay with ABC News and Eyewitness News for the latest on the last-minute campaigning. You can also get information on the candidates anytime by going to our website, 7online.com. I love that you guys said that at the end. Good stuff.
You can't say it too much.
That's it. Sports with Jessica coming up next.